Hey everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a bracelet today, and I'm going to use some of the beads that came in the most recent Potomac Beads Treasure Edition subscription box, the one for August 2024. It's called Ladies Night. And I'm also going to be using some of the beads that came in the April box. It was called Spun Sugar Serenade. I'll put links in the corner of this video and in the description box below to both of the unboxing videos I did for these boxes in case you want to watch it, where I go over everything that came in both of the boxes. I'll also put a link in the description box below to the page on the Potomac Beads website where you can read about both of their subscription boxes and subscribe if it's something that you're interested in. And here I have the 4mm Potomac pearls that came in the August box. The color, I think the color was light amethyst. I've misplaced my little baggie that they came in, so I don't know for sure, but I think it was light amethyst. These are some RoundDuos beads that came in the April box. The color on these is light lila luster. I'm going to use this little button that came in the April box. The color on it is opaque rose swirl. I'm going to be using my Miyuki 11-0 and 15-0 Duracoat galvanized gold seed beads. I've got a size 12 beading needle, and I'm using my 6-pound fire line in smoke. I don't think it would be a good idea to use anything heavier than a 6-pound fire line or a size 12 beading needle, because I'm using these 15-0s, and especially at the clasping area, I'm going to be going around them several times. So a size 12 beading needle and 6-pound fire line would be best. I'll be using my pliers to flatten my thread to get it through the eye of the needle, and my scissors and thread burner to cut and burn down my fire line. I think that's everything. I'll try to find links and put links to everything I'm using in the description box below. So hold on, I get send this out of the way and I'll be back. Okay, I've got my beads out here. I've got my 4mm beads, my RoundDuos, my 11-0s, and my 15-0s. And I've got my needle threaded, and I've got a stop bead on. And I'm just leaving about a 6-inch tail, just enough to put a needle on and sew it back in later, because I'm going to be coming back down the bracelet, so I'm not going to need to leave a big long thread to put my clasp on. This is going to be right angle weave. I hope y'all are not getting tired of right angle weave, but like I said before, it's just a favorite stitch. It's just really versatile. So the left side of my right angle weave box is going to be a pearl. The top of my right angle weave box is going to be a 15-0, a RoundDuos, and a 15-0. The right side of my box is going to be a pearl. And it takes a minute to get in these little pearls. They've got very tiny little holes. And the bottom of my box is going to be an 11-0, a pearl. I'm telling you, if these didn't come off of a strand, sometimes I would think some of these didn't have a hole in them. They're so little. So the bottom of my box is an 11-0, a pearl, and an 11-0. Bring all this down to my stop bead. I'm going to sew around all this again. Go back, make sure I go back through all the beads in the same hole of that RoundDuos. Of course, the RoundDuos bead has 2 holes, but I'm just working with one of them right now. I'm going to sew around till I'm coming out of this pearl here on the right so that I can make my next unit. And I just want to come down the purl. I don't want to catch that seed bead down there. Now I'm going to make my next unit. I've already got my left side, which is my purl. So I need to pick up what I need for my bottom. So I need an 11-0, a purl, and an 11-0 for the bottom of my next box. I need a purl for the right side of my next box. And I need a 15-0, and I know y'all can't see my 15-0s because they're off the screen, but I'm going to pick up a 15-0, a RoundDuos, and a 15-0 for the top of my box. So I've got 11-0, purl 11-0 for the bottom of my box, a purl for the right side of my box, and a 15-0 and a RoundDuos and a 15-0 for the top of my box. Coming out of the bottom of this purl, I'm going to go on the top of it. Now I'm going to go around all that again. The 11-0 and the purl and the 11-0. The purl that's the right side of my box. 15-0, the RoundDuos, and the 15-0, which is the top of my box. The purl on the left side, which is the left side of my box. Back across the bottom. And then up this purl on the right side of my box so that I can make my next unit. Now this time I'm coming out the top of this purl. It'll alternate every time. One time you'll be coming out the top, the next time you'll be coming out the bottom. So I need the top of my box this time, so I need a 15-0, RoundDuos bead, and a 15-0. I need the right side of my box, which is a purl. Then I need the bottom of my box, which is an 11-0, a purl, and an 11-0. Coming out the top of this purl, I'm going to go on the bottom of it. I'm going to go around all those beads again. 15-0, RoundDuos and 15-0. Purl. $11.0, purl and $11.0. The purl. $15.0, RoundDuos and $15.0. And then back down this purl so I can start my next unit. This time I'm coming out of the bottom, so I need to pick up the bottom of my next box, which is an 11.0, a purl, and an 11.0. And then I need the right side of my box, which is a purl. I need the top of my box, which is a 15.0, a round duo bead, and a 15-0. So I'm coming out the bottom of that pearl. I'm going to go on the top of it. And I'm going to go around all those beads again. 11-0, the pearl, and the 11-0. Pearl, that's the right side of my box. 15-0, the round duo, and the 15-0, that's the top of my box. Pearl, that's the left side of my box. The 11-0 and the pearl and the 11-0, that's the bottom of my box. And then back out this pearl on the right, so I'm going to do my next unit. So I'm just going to keep doing that till I get the length that I want minus what my button and loop is going to take up. I don't think my button and loop will take up more than an inch, so I'll probably do about 6.5 inches of this. And the reason that I'm putting 15-0s up here on either side of my round duo and 11-0s down here on either side of my pearl is because the pearl is 4 millimeters, but the round duo bead is 5 millimeters. So if I put an 11-0 on each side of my pearl and a 15-0 on each side of my round duo, it makes them about the same length across. So it balances it out and the bracelet won't curve. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope it does. So I'm going to keep doing this till I get the length that I want, and then I'll be back. Okay, I've got the length that I want now. I stopped it just a little bit over 6 inches because I decided my button and loop might take more than an inch, so I'm doing just a little over 6 inches. And I'm coming out of this pearl here where I put on my last right angle weave unit. And this is where I would put on my next unit if I was going to do that, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to make the other side of my necklace. So to do that, I need to go down into this 15-0 in this round duo bead, and I'm just going through the round duo bead, not the 15-0 on the other side of it, because I'm going to come up into the second hole of my round duo bead. Now, I've already got my round duo bead for the top of my box, but I need to have a 15-0 on either side of the hole of my round duo, just like I do at the top here. So I'm going to pick up a 15-0, and then I need a pearl for the right side of my box. And then I need an 11-0 and a pearl. And an 11-0 for the bottom. Well, it fell off. It took me forever to get it on my needle and it fell off. And an 11-0 for the bottom of my box. And then another pearl for the left side of my box. And then I need a 15-0 to go on this side of this of my round duo. So I'm going to pick up a 15-0. So I'm going to go into the other side of the hole of my round duo. And that puts that on there like that. Now I'm going to sew around all this again. Go across my bottom 11-0 purl and the 11-0. Back up this purl. And into the 15-0 and the round duo. And I don't think I can get into that 15-0. Back into the 15-0. I'm going to go down my purl here. Across the bottom. The 11-0, the purl, and the 11-0. And then up this purl. Okay. Now for my next box, I've already got two of my big beads, my round duo bead for the top and my purl for the right side. But I need a 15-0 to go on this side of this hole of my round duo. You'll always have 4 little 15-0s here in this little intersection between your round duo beads. So I'm going to pick up a 15-0 and put that in there. Like that. Now I need a 15-0 on this side of my round duo bead. And then I need a purl for the left side of my box. And then I need an 11-0, a purl, and an 11-0 for the bottom of my box. So I'm going to go in this purl here. And I'm going to go around all that again. The 15-0, the round duo, and the 15-0. Then this purl. The 11-0 and the purl and the 11-0. I need to sew around until I'm coming out of this purl to make my next unit. So I'm going to go into my purl here. The 15-0, the round duo, and the 15-0. Then down into this purl. Now I'm coming out of the bottom this time. It's like the other time, you'll always be alternating, which you'll either be coming out the top or the bottom of this purl. So I'm coming out of the bottom, so I need my bottom. So I need my 11-0 purl and 11-0 for my bottom. The purl for the left side of my box. I can get it on my needle here. And then I'm going to go into this round duo, but I need a 15-0 for this side of the round duo. I'll make up a 15-0. Now I'm going to go into this round duo bead here. And I need a 15-0 for this side of my round duo. So I'll pick up a 15-0 and go down into this purl. That puts my 4 little 15-0s in there between my round duo beads. Now I'm going to sew around all this again. The 11-0, the purl, the 11-0. Up into this purl. The 15-0, the round duo, and the 15-0. Go down into this purl. Across the bottom, the 11-0, the 15-0, or the purl and the 11-0. Then up into this purl here. So I need a 15-0 to go on this side of my round duo bead and to make my 4 little 15-0s in the center there. I'll pick up a 15-0 and go through my round duo bead. And then I need a 15-0 for this side of my round duo. And then I need a purl for the left side of my box. And then an 11-0, a purl, and an 11-0 for the bottom. So now I'm going to go up into this purl. And now I'm going to sew around all that again. The 15-0, the round duo, and the 15-0. Go down this purl. Go across the bottom, the 11-0, the purl and the 11-0. Go up into this purl. Go across this 15-0, round duo, and 15-0. And then down into this purl. Now I'm going to make my next box. I'm going to just keep doing that until I get this other side of my bracelet done. I'm going to come back later and add in a thread and do my clasping on this side. You can try to sew up here and do it while you're up here, but I didn't want to be confusing and do that. I was afraid if I stopped and sewed up here and did the clasping it would be confusing, so I'm just going to add in a thread later and put my clasp on. So when I get this side of my bracelet done, I'll be back. Okay, I've got the body of my bracelet done now. So now I'm going to put on my button. So I'm coming out of this 11-0 here where I put on my last unit here. I want to sew around until I'm coming out this round duo bead. So I'm going to go into this purl. And I'm going to go down this 15-0 and then just the round duo bead, not the 15-0 on the other side of the round duo. And then I'm going to come over here and go up this hole of the round duo bead. Now I'm going to pick up a 15-0, an 11-0, and a 15-0. And I'm going to go from this hole of the round duo down into this hole of the round duo. And I'm going to go on into that 15-0 on the other side of it. And that's going to put a little, kind of a little peak there at the top of my round duo bead. Now I want to sew until I'm coming out of this 11-0 here again. So I'm going to go into this pearl. I'll go up into this 11-0 pearl and 11-0. Now I'm pick up two 15-0s and 11-0 and two 15-0s. And I'm going to go from this 11-0 into this 11-0 at the little peak that I just made. Now I'm pick up two more 15-0s. One 11-0 and two more 15-0s. And I'm going to go from the peak, this 11-0 at the peak, over here into this 11-0. Put that little decoration on the end of my bracelet. Now I'm going to sew all the way back around here until I'm coming out of this 11-0 again. So I'm going to go into this pearl and this 11-0. Go across this pearl. I'm going to go up into this 11-0 in the RoundDuos bead. I'm just going to go into the RoundDuos bead, not any of those seed beads. I'm going to come down the other hole of my RoundDuos bead and into that 15-0 on the other side of it. Now I'm going to go across this pearl. And I'm going to go up this 11-0 pearl and just the 11-0 on the pearl for right now. Now I'm going to go up these three 11-0s, or this 11-0. I really just want to go into just the 11-0 right now. My needle's wanting to go up into that 15-0, which would be okay. I'm going to do that in a minute. But okay, now I'm going to go up into the two 15-0s and come out that 11-0. Now I'm going to pick up four 11-0s. And my button from the bottom. And now I'm going to pick up three 11-0s. And go down the other hole of my button. Decorate the outside of my button a little bit there. Now I'm going to go into the 11-0 under my button, just one of them. I'm going to hold on to my button and pull the slack out of my thread. Now I'm going to pick up three more 11-0s. And I'm going to go into this 11-0 here at the peak that I made over here. I think I've got a different colored 11-0 in there. It doesn't look right. I think I've got maybe a champagne 11-0 or a silver even. That might looks like a silver 11-0 got mixed in with my gold ones. Okay, now I'm going to sew down into these three 11-0s into the pearl and the 11 on the other side of the pearl. So I'm going to sew all the way back around again just like I did then. And I'm going to go around all that again. I think I did something. I went through 2 11-ohs there instead of 1. I got through 2 11-ohs under my button instead of 1. I'm going to have to I'm going to take my needle off and take this out, and I'll be back when I get this out. Okay, I took out my mess that I made, so I'm coming out of this second hole of my button after I put my 3 11-ohs in there. So now I'm just going to go down one of these 11-ohs under my button. Now I'm going to pick up 3 11-ohs. And I'm going to go into this peak here, this 11-oh at the peak that I made here. Make sure I did it right that time. I think I did. Now I'm going to go down into these 2 15-ohs and the 11-oh and the pearl and the 11-oh. Now I'm going to sew into this pearl. I'm going to go up into this 15-oh RoundDuos bead. I'm going to go on into the 15-oh this time on the other side of the RoundDuos bead. If I can get in it, there we go. Now I'm going to go into the other 15-oh, the 15-oh with that 11-oh, and the 2 15-ohs on this side to kind of tighten these up and straighten them up a little. Probably have to do this one at a time. Now I'm going to go down this 15-oh, the RoundDuos bead, the 15-oh on the other side of the RoundDuos bead. Go into this pearl. And now I'm going to go up this 11-oh, pearl, and 11-oh. Now I'm going to go up all these beads till I get up here to my button. Go on the 11-oh under my button and in one of the holes of my button. Go through these 3 beads. And into the other hole of my button. Go into the 11-oh under my button. And then I'm going to go down all the beads on this other side. And then into this pearl and this 11-oh. And now I'm going to sew around all that again, just like I did that time. Go around it one more time. And then I'm going to go down through here and make 3 half-inch knots and end off my thread. And then when I come back, I'll add a thread into the other side and do my loop side. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got my button on. Now I'm going to put the loop side of my clasp on. I've got about 2.5 feet of thread on my needle, and I'm leaving about a 6-inch tail so that I can put a needle on it and sew it in later. And 2.5 feet might be too much, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. So I'm going to go down into my second unit here, and I'm going to go into this 11/0 purl in the 11/0 and pull my thread through, and my stop bead's going to stop it there. Now I'm going to go into this purl, now I'm going to go up into this 15/0 and then just the RoundDuos bead. And now I'm going to pick up a 15/0, an 11/0, and a 15/0. I'm going to go from this hole into this hole, and I'm going to go into that 15/0 and under it there, just like I did on the other side. Now I'm going to go into this purl, and I'm going to go up into this 11/0 purl and the 11/0. Now pick up two 15/0s, one 11/0, and two 15/0s. And I'm going to go from this 11/0 to this little 11/0 at the peak here that I've made. Make sure that's not a silver one. Now it's cold. Now pick up two more 15/0s, one 11/0, and two more 15/0s. I'm going to go from my little peak here into the 11/0 on this side. Now I'm going to sew all around here again, and I'm going to sew all around here until I'm coming out this peak here, just like I did on that other side. And then when I come back, I'll start on my loop. So I'll be back. Okay, I sewed back around here until I'm coming out of my little peak here, out of my 11/0. And I went ahead and picked up 30 of my 11/0s. I didn't want y'all to have to wait while I picked up 30 11/0s, so I picked up 30. Now I'm going to go down here and separate 26 of them from 4 of them. I'm going to go in back into this 11/0 here, because 26 of them I think will be alright to go around my button. Now I'm going to pick up 3 more 11/0s. And I'm going to go into this little peak over here. Now I'm going to sew around all that again, and I'm going to go around this again, and I'm going to do that 2 more times. I'm going to sew all the way around here, go back around everything, and then sew all the way back around and go back around everything again. And then I'm just going to sew in my thread like I did on the other side. And then when I get back, I'll be done, and we'll see what I've got. So I'll be back. Okay, there's my bracelet, finally all done. I know this has been a longer video than I usually do, but this bracelet's just a little bit more involved than the other ones I usually do. I'll put it together here to show you how it looks with the button through the loop. Oh, that's what the clasping part looks like. And that's the bracelet. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description box below to the page on the Potomac Beads website where you can go and read about both of their subscription boxes that they have and decide if it's something you want to subscribe to. I hope y'all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook, Instagram, and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope y'all have a great day. Take care.